Sheriffs and ICE officers, this is something we've been talking about on radio. They are now suing Biden and the Biden administration for breaking federal law. Now, this is interesting because reporters haven't really been reporting, surprise, surprise, on the fact that what Biden is doing is violating federal immigration laws. He has the responsibility to secure that border. That's his job. In addition, these kids, I'm not talking about teenagers, these kids, little kids who are being kept in detention centers for more than basically 20 days, give or take, that violates a federal court mandate. They used to throw that at Trump all the time, and Trump dealt with it. He dealt with many less children. He secured the border more than anybody else, quite frankly. And they had to let those kids go. But you've got all kinds of things going on here that are really outrageous. So I played this BBC piece on radio, and maybe we'll play it this week here too, where they actually sent a reporter to try and get into this detention center at Fort Bliss. And they took drone shots and shots from the road and spoke to certain Border Patrol and ICE officials off the record. They disguised them and changed their voices and so forth. It was, first of all, a tremendous piece of journalism. The BBC. And it was eye-opening. None of our major networks have done any of that. None of our major networks have done any of that. You actually have some of these children and women who apparently are being molested and raped in these sites. You have problems with lice. You have problems with COVID. You have problems with the flu because, you're pushing these kids into these tight areas like cattle. And the media are AWOL. It's just incredible. And Joe Biden is there getting ice cream cones, and he doesn't give a damn at all because the Democrat Party, as we've discussed so many times, will do anything for power. And in this, what they see is ultimately and eventually, they will get a huge majority of the vote of those people coming over the border because they will thank the Democrat Party for the fact that they're in this white supremacist, racist, economically defective nation. And I say that tongue-in-cheek, of course. So that's why they're doing it. Anyway, go ahead.
Texas sheriffs have filed a lawsuit accusing the Biden administration of preventing federal officials from arresting or deporting criminal illegal immigrants. The suit comes after Immigration and Customs Enforcement refused to take custody and deport illegal immigrants arrested locally due to a new Biden administration policy.
So in essence, people come in here, they've committed horrendous crimes. Sex crimes, many cases, drug crimes, other crimes, and they're not being deported. And so the local sheriffs and others are being overwhelmed, and so is ICE. ICE is responsible on the federal level for interior enforcement, and they're being overwhelmed. In addition to having to take care of little kids who are coming across the border. So we have Cloward and Piven going on here, overwhelm the system, break the system, and then control the system, yet blame your opponents. Pretty much what's going on. Go ahead.
Sheriffs and ICE employees filed a complaint in the federal court of the Southern District of Texas. The complaint alleges the decision by President Biden has enticed criminals to illegally immigrate to the United States. Since the border policy changes went into effect, ICE arrests have dropped by 2/3. The sheriff said it has also fueled the surge of non-citizens attempting to get into the U.S.
Unbelievable. When you read American Marxism, there's a significant section on LatCrit, that's Latino critical race theory that most of you are unfamiliar with. But I'll start talking about it so all the other hosts start talking about it soon thereafter. And what that is all about is, and I touched on it the other day, it's the ideology that the United States of America is an illegitimate country. And they call you, people who are citizens of this country, United Statists. They say that America, North and South America, some of them say, but America generally, was inhabited by the indigenous people who are the illegal aliens trying to get into the United States. And for those Latinos or Hispanics who have assimilated into the United States and are patriotic Americans, they denounce you. They say that you have the mindset of a white supremacist, that your mind has been colonized. Critical race theoreticians say the same thing of African Americans and other blacks in this country who are not down for the revolution or the Marxist overthrow of the United States. So they denounce patriotic men and women who are Latinos or Hispanic. They denounce patriotic men and women who are black as basically sellouts. You can't think for yourself, and you're the worst of the worst. And a lot of this really hasn't been exposed and explained either, which I will be doing in the weeks ahead. So they do not view illegal immigration as illegal. They view what they call the white Protestant Europeans who came to the United States. They're the interlopers and they're the illegal aliens. So this territory belongs to the people who are trying to get in here legally and illegally. But of course, like critical race theory, LAT-CRIT, as they call themselves, L-A-T-C-R-I-T, LAT-CRIT's about more than that. It's about reparations, it's about redistribution of wealth, it's about attacking the foundational documents of the country. In other words, as they put it, there's intersectionality. It's a growing movement, these disparate Marxist movements that have been spawned from Marxism coming together, whether it's Latinos, whether it's blacks, whether it is gays and lesbians, transgender individuals, whether it is those who attack the economy straight on through climate change and the Green New Deal, when they're really pushing a degrowth movement and that sort of thing. So that is what's going on here. And that is why this border is wide open. And that is why Biden doesn't give a damn. And his advisors, whatever they're telling him, maybe they're lying to him, but his advisors are among these radical types that I'm talking about. Matter of fact, if you look throughout the Biden government, he's appointed the hardest of hard leftists for most of these positions. The head of the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department is an outspoken, widely written bigot, racist, anti-Semite. She gets confirmed with every Democrat, and I think one Republican, maybe Susan Collins, votes for her. The number 3 over there, the Associate Attorney General of the United States, another bigot, outspoken bigot. You can see where this is headed in many of these areas. The guy that they appointed in charge of weapons and so forth, he is a gun grabber and a gun control guy. He used to be a marshal himself. Just as radical as they can come. Same with the Environmental Protection Agency. And if that's not bad enough, he's appointed individuals, special assistants to the president, who are equally radical. The whole critical race theory and LAT-CRIT is being enshrined through the bureaucracy with executive orders and edicts by various cabinet secretaries. The war on capitalism, you saw that the first day with the attack on the Keystone XL pipeline. You know, if Canada had been Russia, maybe he would have allowed that pipeline to go through, but apparently not. And then there's the border situation, which is utterly and completely out of control. Everybody knows it. But the head of Homeland Security keeps announcing that they have things under control because he's a liar. And that's the other thing they do. They change the language, they change words, they impose ideas. So the truth shall not set you free when it comes to them.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.